Hi guys, and welcome to Monday's episode of
The Ruck Off.
There we go.
The Ruck Off. We're back again. When's this coming out, Elliot? Monday.
Monday.
And big news, because from now on, Elliot hasn't got his, but I've got mine. So we are going to be, can we see it? Sponsored by 8 Strong Sports. Yeah, so we've been kindly sent over some stash to wear during the podcasts, and we've got a discount code for you guys, Elliot, your lucky faces. So use Ruck10, all capitals, over on their page. We'll link it on every video. We'll link it now, and you can go and spend some money and help them grow. Yeah, they're pretty much doing all like off-field rugby stuff, so like close to the gym. Jumpers are actually really comfy, and I can vouch this. I'm wearing it right now. I can show you. I'm not showing you Elliot's because I've wrapped it properly and I need to send it over to him. But it's just a shame he doesn't live. He's just in an unknown location because he's scared of me finding out where he lives in case I can't find him.
MI5, yeah.
You've had to be put like a secret location in case I couldn't get you.
Changed my name with a different family, everything undercover.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much just 8 Strong Sports, Ruck10. Go and check them out. Go and drop them a follow.
Yeah, upcoming brand from Warrington. Got some shorts coming out as well. Everything you need for the gym.
We've got some exciting plans with them in the future. Happy. So now we're filming this right after the East Midlands derby. Obviously, Northampton came out on top. Tigers' red zone efficiency was poor. But what I'm going to talk about now, people hate it, but I'm going to talk about the refereeing. And I am blaming Carl Dixon, but I don't want to at the same time. It's more the fact along the lines of the RFU. I don't know who decides England Rugby RFU making professional players into referees when I don't think they're ready. Personally, for me, if Carl Dixon wasn't an ex-professional, he would be reffing nowhere near this standard. And I'm not saying this on today's game because I'm salty. I'm salty that we lost. But the rest of the games I've seen him play, I don't think he's been good whatsoever. And I think it could be a problem at the minute. And with just the standard of refereeing in general, Elliot. Well, we saw, obviously, you put a video out on the page, on the Rockhouse page, go and check it out, of JP Doyle, reffing in America. He's so good. Like, what decision, who made that decision to get rid of him and keep some of the referees we have in? Obviously, someone very deluded, but as I say, I'm not a referee. And people go, well, they're giving up their spare time. I understand that, but if you're not good, don't do it. Like Elliot, that's why he doesn't do it anymore. Now, I'm joking. Everyone says you're a really good ref, you know. I had someone message me last night and say, is this guy Elliot? I had him a few years ago, and he's probably one of the best refs we've had.
No way.
Yeah, honestly.
Do that. Shout out.
Nah, he plays for Leicester Forest. You'll know who he is. I don't say names. You won't know him. Scrum off, fly off, I don't know. He's just going into seniors. But he said he had you a few years ago and you're one of the best refs. I'll tell you after, because you're big ass right now and his ego will get massive.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Elliot, what's your, obviously from a referee, you don't want to flag referees off because you're all in this little weird committee where you all go to like parties and stuff together.
It's a bit like the Magic Circle, but
what's the first rule of refereeing club? Don't talk about refereeing club. Yeah, so what's your opinion on it all?
Yeah, I guess on Carl Dixon's performance today, like,
I wouldn't even say today. I'd say generally is all of his performances over the season.
I think it's inconsistency, I think, to be fair. Like today, for example, line out, you know, set piece there. They're not straight, you know. He was giving it against Northampton, but they're not Tigers. You know, you've got set piece again with Ruck time. You've got attacking side entries. You've got handling the ruck, but he's giving it for holding on, you know. It's these, what I like to call the basics, you know. And they're easy.
Yeah, carry on, Elliot. Carry on.
Yeah, it's just inconsistency, and especially with the basics, you know. What players and supporters want is, you know, consistency.
Do you know what the process is? Do you know, does he sit down with someone over the, like, on Monday or Tuesday and go, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, you did this well, you did this well, or does it just go, this is your game for next week? So I don't see any improvement with some of the refereeing in the league. And this isn't going to become like a I hate Carl Dixon. It's a general comment about 70% of the referees in the Premiership at the minute.
Yeah, so I personally think some of the referees in the RFU are some of the best for some of the quality. But in terms of the review process, so it's similar to players really. So they'll have a coach, personal coach, and they'll go away and review the game. And then as a collective sort of team, they'll review sort of segments from each of the games, and then they'll review them all together and say, they'll work together and say how someone could have improved that situation. And obviously, like players, they go through the strength and conditioning, fitness and all that. But they go through the similar process of analysing the game with their coach and then, as a collective, really. So they do, and I suppose they are at times held to account because, there's been times where I've heard referees go back to the DORs and just said, apologies, I put my hands up for that. It was the wrong decision. So I suppose there is that accountability, but obviously we don't see that. Obviously that's behind doors, but.
And let's think about this. We're in like a massive, this is what we'd call like a HAAWK review. So we're saying this, within an hour of the game finishing. This is all like still like adrenaline's obviously built up and you're still just saying everything that comes to your head. Whereas we might go, the video might come out Monday night and I might go after. I really regret saying that.
Yeah.
I guess it's good that, I guess you need to be honest. And I guess the first things that come out of your mouth after a HAAWK review might be good, but then we might put our opinion out on tomorrow or Monday. We might go, well, actually, we think Carl Dixon did this well, and he wasn't so bad. It's just one of those where I think a hot review and a cold review, and obviously we probably could talk about this if we get some different guests on who are really good at utilising this hot review and cold review, but they're so important for the game. Obviously,
he did have his good moments. Like, we're not saying the performance overall was, terrible, but there is inconsistencies there. And there has been with some of his performance as a whole. So, but, as a Tigers fan as well. So I don't want to.
It's just a shame.
Yeah.
And I just think some decisions were strange. Like, the thing is, I completely agree with the decision he made for Ludlam. So Kelly was dipping. Kelly obviously got tackled. There's nothing Ludlam could do. So I think that's the right decision not to penalise that. Whereas the Scott one, the way he described it, I don't have a problem, but the way he described it sounded like it should have been a red card.
Yeah, as the commentators were saying at the time, he was saying it was at force. He could have dipped, high degree of danger, foul play, all those key terms.
Everything he said was correct. So he described it so like, not much mitigation. There was no mitigation, basically. Tackler could have gone lower, high force. But then he goes, it's a yellow card. I'm just thinking, just back yourself. If you said all those things, you've got to give the red card. You've got to give the right decision. And then Harry Wells incident, he then said that he attacks the standing leg when I thought he attacked the kicking leg. And he seemed like he was committed anyway. I think that was a strange call, but it's one of those where I like the TMO interaction, but I'm starting to actually hate watching rugby union. And I put a tweet out about this earlier, just saying, like, for me, rugby league is such a more entertaining game than rugby union. And I know a lot of rugby union fans don't really like that, but watching rugby league, just still the contact element. With this, every time someone runs into contact, you're like, oh, it's going to get checked. All you hear is, can we check it, please? That's all you ever hear, isn't it, Elliot? Or can you check that? Or can you just check that infringement, please? Just TMO should be used for when the referee asks and for tries. Don't just keep butting in every time. I don't know, it just winds me up. But I guess if this was the other way around, if, say, Ribbons had dived into Ford's leg instead of Wells had gone into Biggers, we probably would go, send him off. It's just because obviously you've still got your Tigers, what you call it, your red, white and green tinted glasses on, so you want every decision to go to them. But yeah, some strange calls. I think it's just, I've watched him play referee in other games, and I just think, come on, lift it. But onto some better news, Elliot. England, women.
Yes. Six
Nations champions after, and I think Emily Scarrett said it after the game. I watched the interview and she was just like, it wasn't a perfect performance, but that's what we need. And that's probably for me what I want to watch as an England sport. Because I know we can go into playing Wales, Ireland, Italy, Scotland, and go, yeah, we'll put 30-40 on these. But France is the game that I look forward to.
Yeah, especially watching it today because I had it on at the same time as Tigers and I was watching it before. And obviously the first half wasn't the best, you know, with all those handling errors. France put so much pressure on us. So yeah, as Emily said, it wasn't, you know, the best performance, but it was a brilliant game to watch. It was tight. You just don't know what they're going to have. Both sides were equally dangerous, but there was the, you know, silly handling errors at times and simple mistakes. But it was a great game to watch, and, you know, a great tournament by England as well.
Yeah, and I'm sure we haven't spoken to CC yet, but we should have some exciting stuff with CC going out this week. Fingers crossed it all goes ahead. Then hopefully maybe next week we'll try and get her on to have a little recap of the women's game. And the amazing news that it was shown on BBC Two, but not the red button, BBC Two, mainstream TV on a Saturday afternoon. Just proves that something's going right, something's doing well. And that's what we need every week. And I'm sure, as a big fan of the women's game, I'm sure I'm excited. I'm sure a lot of people are equally as excited. Just talks, I think we've mentioned it before, but I'd love to see like an England, France, Canada, New Zealand little competition going on, Australia competition going on with all the best women's teams. I think that'd be so competitive. But talking about that, obviously we don't want to get into football, but they brought in a European Super League, which lasted like less than most things that happen in my life. Yeah, it lasted like 2 days and it folded. But I was thinking, Elliot, I'll put you on the spot here. If you could pull 12 teams from around the world, not just on current form, but history, and pull them into this European Super League in rugby, who would you pick?
What, in terms of like club-wise?
Club-wise. So I'm thinking it'd have to be on history. So we'll get a lot of criticism. I reckon we could put a little graphic of this and see what other people think. On history, because that's what the picks in the football. The picked Arsenal, Tottenham have done nothing in Europe and domestic leagues at the minute. So it would have to be Tigers, Saracens from England, guaranteed. Then you're probably thinking the two others from England. Who are you thinking? Bath.
I was about to say Bath because of their history.
Bath. And then you'd probably go Exeter.
Yeah.
Just because of like how good they've been at the minute and the European double. So that's 4. And I'd probably say they'd have to pull Bristol in because Bristol do everything right. So we'll go 5 English, so we'll go Bristol as well. So Ellie, if you can remember all these or write these down so we can have a little graphic. And then you'd obviously go Leinster, Munster.
Yeah.
That's 7. Then you got to go Crusaders, Hurricanes, Blues. I think that's 10 now. I might have got more.
Australia.
Oh, I thought you said what Australian teams? Reds and Brumbies.
Western Force.
Nah, just Reds and Brumbies. But so to hold that thought in your head. So I don't know how many teams I've just picked there. But that's just some. I'm sure me and Elliot will discuss and we'll put a little graphic out and see what people think, get people to think. But Western Force, lovely segue. Western Force have made it to the semi-final, and Lone Watch, Jordan Olawafela, is that how we're pronouncing it? Olawafela, hat-trick hero. And I think it's so good as a Tigers fan, like to see him performing, because obviously when he was at us, he was really good in the England under-20s World Cup in, was it Argentina?
It's like 27.
Nah, 18, 19, 18.
I thought it was 17.
It might have been, but he was classing that, then came back to us and he just looked like he was low on confidence, didn't tackle and just ran really soft. But I think the highlights of him, he looks like he's just confidence is high. My only worry is that I hope Tigers haven't sent all their loan players like Worth and Olawafela out on loan just to get rid of them off the books. I hope we actually bring them back and integrate them into the first team, because I think he could I think Jordan could really do well.
When I watched on Friday, he just looks happy. He's expressing himself, you know, his qualities. I was talking to this with one of the Tigers fans. It was like he's showing his qualities. Yeah, I have some, right? Your friend. No, you know, he's showing his qualities. You know, it's his style of rugby. He's enjoying himself, and at the end of the day, you want someone to be enjoying the rugby. And
yeah, I'd agree.
I think he's doing that. You know.
Yeah, and I think so. Just on this topic here, we've got the importance of players going away or just leaving England, like young English players leaving and going and learning the trade in a different country. So, like, you've had Oliver Feller, George Worth, obviously in Australia at the minute. We had Joe Marchant go and get into the Blues, which I think made him a better player. Then there's people leaving at such early ages, like Mercer, who's going to Montpellier at the end of the season, with an aim to come back to England in the near future for one of the World Cups in the future. But I think it's going to make his game so much better. Like, the French rugby is so unstructured, in my opinion, that I think it will just help his game. I think he's going to have to learn to adapt, learn a different language, and it's going to be out of his comfort zone, so he comes back a better player. We hope. Yeah, I think what's your opinion, Elliot, of just like the importance of just going away to a different country? And
Yeah, so I was having a conversation with my dad months ago about Jordan Murphy when he came into the head coach role at Tigers, and we were saying he just hasn't had that experience, and going on loan to a different country, you know, learning his trade a bit more, building his own style, that's what he needed. So I think being able to go to, you know, various countries like Pro 14, you know, French clubs, you know, the Super Rugby, you know, being able to learn from various coaches in a coaching role and, you know, trying to expand their game. And especially, like you said, with the players as well, it's great. And hopefully players like Oliver Feller, George Worth, the Tigers, and obviously Zach Mercer, and obviously Joe Marchant that went to the Blues, you know, being able to go away from the Premiership, learn a new style, perfect their game to make them become a better player or coach or whatever. I think it's a brilliant idea, and it's something that should be encouraged, really.
Oh, that wise words, Elliot. And there's not really that much that has to be talked about. They're just like, it's good to see him doing well, and just hopefully he comes back a better player.
Indeed.
I think is that pretty much. We're filming this on a Saturday evening, so obviously we had the Harlequins Irish game earlier. Andre Esther Huizen got a red card in front, and a forearm to one of the London Irish's face in a little scuffle. We probably cut right decision. There's not really much to say from that. We don't really cover results anymore because we find there's a lot of podcasts that already do that. We try and just bring something fresh.
And back, we thought it was boring.
Yeah, rugby is boring. We're now called the Book Off, where we'll be reviewing books every week. This week we'll be reviewing. Who's got a book to show? Who's got a book to show? Who's got a book to show? We'll be reviewing. I've got a book. I need a book.
Is it all right?
It's actually a really good book. Seriously, it's a rugby book. It's about like how brutal it is being a sports player. Oh, it's a nice pitch. That's a nice view there. One for the fans. Yes, it's
only fans.
The Ruck off only fans. This is how we make our extra income.
Oh, quite now.
That's a great idea, you know. Not the only fans. A book off. The Book Off. Like little extra episode called The Book Off, where I review books. But I'll probably won't happen. It's a great idea. If someone else wants it, they can have it. Just don't copyright us like YouTube do with every video. Yeah, so I think is that pretty much all rugby covered before we move on to the weekly challenge. Anything you want to say? No,
let's go on to the weekly challenge. I've been buzzing for this week.
Elliot's paying off the fans. It's 3-1 to him. I'm fuming. Did you have any forfeit ideas? Did we discuss them last week?
I don't think so, but suggestions we've had so far are interesting. We probably need a bit more.
I'm not doing anything to my hair because my hair is lovely.
So one of them was like hair dye, like blonde or pink or whatever it was. Wearing rugby boots all day.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Downing a dirty pint.
That
was about it.
Yeah, we'll get some more. So we put another story out. Please reply to it.
Yeah.
But other than that, should we move on? 3-1 to you, Elliot.
It is.
I need to come back. So we've came up with this week the One Nation Challenge. Pretty straightforward, but we don't know each other's teams, so it's going to be a bit of fun. But it's pretty simple. You can only pick one player from each nation. So, Elliot, you can start off with your loose head.
Lou said I've gone for a Samoan. That's Logie Munafoda.
Oh, I like that. I've gone for Sawana Tongawea from Tongan. From Tonga? From Tonga. From Tonga. Do you remember him? He played for Northampton. Big dog.
He's at Amped Hill now, isn't he? I think he's at Amped Hill
Still,
now.
probably still
Going,
rocking it.
he's still going
Yeah,
strong.
I like it.
Hooker, I've gone Argentina, and I've gone Julian Montoya.
I'd have gone for Augustin Creevy from Argentina personally.
No,
But I've gone for Shalva Mamukashvili, Georgia.
Rock.
Big dog. Was it Tigers for a bit? Played like 5 minutes and then just left. Poor lad. Next.
Tighthead, I've gone for Italy, and I've gone Marto Castro Giovanni.
Oh, about that. I went for Logovi Mulipola from Samoa.
Second row, I've gone for Wales, and I've gone for Alan Wynne Jones at 4.
He's mine, number 4. I've got him at 4 as well. Because he's past and present. It's past and present, One Nation. Thought he's been playing in the past and the present. What a guy.
What a guy.
Next.
Gent. 5, I've gone for South Africa, and I've gone for Etzebeth.
I didn't go for that. I went for Fijian Leona Nakarawa. Nakarawa? Yeah, he was at Glasgow. Is he still at Glasgow? No, he's at Racing. Wait, he's at one of them. He's played for both. I don't know who's at the minute.
I don't know if he went Saints or is that another player?
That's a different player, mate.
Brilliant. We'll move on then. 6, I've gone for Australia and David Pocock.
I've gone for the 6. I think this is the best shout because I've moved outside of the bracket of normal countries, like normal rugby countries.
Normal country.
Yeah, apologies. I get cancelled every week. I've got for Jacques Berger from Namibia, Saracens player.
Oh yeah. By the way, this is both past and present players, not present. So we could choose any players from 15s or 7s.
Technically, could I pick myself? Because I'm English.
Yeah, moving on. At 7, I've got New Zealand, and I've gone for Richie McCaw.
Same. I've gone for Richie McCaw. It was between him and Dean Carter, but try and say Dan Carter. I just did. Try and say Dean Carter in an English accent.
Dean Carter.
Can't do it. Dean Carter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's captain as well.
Yeah. Dan Carter's not at Amptill.
What?
Did you say Dan Carter's at Amptill?
No.
Oh, fair. I misheard. Yeah, Richie McCaw.
Number 8, I've gone for Tonga and Sio Kalamafoni.
Who's at
Scarlets.
Knowledge?
Scarlets, man.
Rugby. Norse. I've gone for Sergio Parise. I don't think you could have gone for anyone else from Italy. Baller. Basically carried Italy on his shoulders for years.
9, I've gone for France and Anton Dupont. You know, you can't say anything wrong with that.
I haven't put a French in.
You haven't got a Frenchie?
Nah. Can we not call them the Frenchies? I've not got a French player in my team. I've gone for Argentina, Thomas Cubelli. I actually like him. Proper zippy 9.
Zippy 9.
Big fan. I regret not putting a French in.
10, I've gone for an English 10. Johnny Wilkinson.
Yeah, I've gone for the same. I'm going to put a massive opinion out here now, but I don't think Johnny Wilkinson was as good as everyone's making out.
You're definitely cancelled. You're definitely cancelled now.
Genuinely, hear me out. I don't think Johnny Wilkinson was as good as everyone makes out.
Why?
I think he's good, like world class, but I don't think he's as good as everyone thought. I'm really scared about that. Hopefully, what are we like? We're like at least half an hour into this now. Nobody's listening anymore. If you are listening, don't bother. Turn off. You're on your own.
Stiggo will get you a point if you're still listening.
Yeah. So comment. What should the comment? Comment. Johnny Wilkinson is overrated on the Instagram or any of the socials, and I'll see that you've watched it, and I'll buy you a pint.
Yeah. #Stiggo for a pint.
Make sure you comment Johnny Wilkinson is overrated in the comments to show that you're still listening now. It's fair point.
11.
Moving on.
I've gone for Japan. Oh, Jesus Christ. I forgot.
Is it a long name? Is that a long name? Oh, Elliot. Here we go. Bit of casual racism from Elliot. What's up?
I'll let my phone do it.
Okay. Oh, he's good. He is good. He's good. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
I've gone for
I really
South
couldn't
Africa.
say his name, and I didn't want to make a fool of myself, so that's why I
I've
did.
gone for South Africa.
Yeah.
And Cheslin Colby.
Good shout. That's a shout and a half.
My backline undefeated, mate. Go 12.
Well, where's 12? I've gone for Fiji and I've gone for Semi Randrander.
Ooh, I've gone for Australia and Matt Giddo.
Matt Giddo.
13.
13. I've gone for Ireland. I've gone for Brian O'Driscoll.
Yeah, I've gone for Ryan O'Driscoll at 13 as well. I think you can see like how good some players are. Just like we've got the same players in the same position. Just because, for me, who were you? I was considering like O'Gara or Stringer from Ireland. But other than that, I don't really have anyone else in my mind.
14. I've gone for USA, and I've gone for Tigers legend that was Blaine Scully.
I love Blaine Scully. I went for USA, but I went for Carlin Isles.
Yeah,
I know he's probably played 15s at some point of his life, but yeah, baller. Oh, I love Blaine Scully. Do you know those players that Tigers have had in the past, just like proper cool hero? And then 15, I'm sure we've probably got the same one. Scotland. Yeah. Chris Patterson.
HAAWK.
No, I'm joking. Stuart HAAWK. Yeah.
HAAWK,
I was gonna go. No one remembers Chris Patterson, but he's a baller. I remember his try-saving tackle on Ben Cohen. But yeah, Stuart HAAWK. And have you got a captain? Because I don't want to go. She'll probably go Alan Wynne Jones because your girlfriend's probably forced you to.
No, I've gone for Richard McCaw.
I've gone for Parise. Yeah, I just love it. Loves any form of aggression. So yeah, I'm disappointed I didn't go for a French though.
So yeah, that's our One Nation 15. That'll be put up on Thursday. So make sure.
When's this coming out?
Monday.
Yeah, it can come out Thursday.
Actually no. I can bring it out on Wednesday.
Why?
I'll bring it out on Wednesday.
Bring it out Wednesday. We can have. Yep. But before we finish, anything? We probably will start putting some more stuff on the stories, just like stuff what people want to see. They might want to see less of me. I want to see more of you, Elliot. Who knows? It's really bright. What do you want to see, Elliot?
I think you should do an Ollie Ball and have one chat up line an episode.
Oh, that's a great idea. We'll think of some stuff. We'll put some leave some suggestions of topics. Just topics, and then just guests who you want to get us on, who we should get on. Yeah, we've got some decent guests lined up. Can't say yet, but excited. What was this, Elliot? Episode
13.
13. I think, I don't know. Obviously, we started off as our Monday episode being a weekend roundup, but I think it's now became more of a casual chat, and I think I prefer it. Feels more normal. Feels more.
Yeah, us.
Authentic. Not authentic. Real. Like we are real people. I know that we're mega famous, but
we're celebrities now. We should be, 5-star hotels.
Being jetted off to do.
Fine dining.
I'm going to Dubai. I'm going to Dubai.
What should we do an episode in Dubai? Dubai special.
Yeah, we'll get we'll get someone to pay to get us out there. BT Sport, hit us up. If you want new commentators, Radio Leicester. Should we see if we can be commentators for a game?
Co-commentators. That would be pretty cool.
I'm down. I reckon
we should check them out on Twitter. Send them a cheeky message, up and coming podcasters, wanting to try out on the big stage.
Our knowledge is off the charts.
Yeah.
But
it's worth a try. Why not? The viewers probably want us to be there. They probably think, yeah.
Elliot, if you don't, the famous quote is, if you don't buy a ticket, you don't win the raffle.
Yeah. Go with that.
Perfect analogy though. Think about it. If you don't buy a ticket, you don't win the raffle.
If you don't
so
ask,
you've got to ask to get.
Yeah, if you don't ask, you don't get. Simple.
If that's your motto, that's fine. Show your girlfriend's a happy lady.
Moving on quickly. So yeah, I think you should give whoever the commentators are a cheeky message on Twitter, because you've got.
Radio Jones does not have Twitter. Radio
No,
Leicester
the others do. The other guys do.
We'll message Radio Leicester and we'll see if we can get something sorted. But if you forgot, 8 Strong Sports, go and check them out. Ruck 10 for 10% off. Really, really comfy stuff. Yeah, and Elliot, episode 13, 12.
I think you got Amnesia. It's 13.
Great song, Amnesia. Yeah, done, dusted for another week. Yeah, remember, if you're still here, Johnny Wilkinson is overrated for a 3 pint off me. And from now till, I don't think there's going to be a Wednesday episode. So from now till like, comment, subscribe, follow the socials. Goodbye. Elliot, what you say?
Good night.
No, Elliot, what you say to me? Thank you for being in my presence. Say thank you. You should be honoured. Goodbye.